Hello, welcome to the Sunday Comic Investment Chat. Um, Happy Mother's Day. Okay, I booked the chat without remembering that today is Mother's Day, so I don't expect a lot of people to be available in the chat. Not a big deal. People can always play this later on the podcast repost. Anyhow, happy Mother's Day out there. I am going to brunch. We book a brunch um, appointment at our favorite restaurant, so it will be a lot of fun. I have not been to a brunch in many years, if not over a decade. So it will be fun to go to brunch and eat some good food. I used to work at a restaurant that offer brunch, and I work my butts off from 7 a.m. until 10 a.m. to get things ready for brunch to be available at 10:30. I think the restaurant I worked at brunch start at 10:30 until 2 or something like that. And yeah, not a happy moment on Mother's Day to have to do that. But anyhow, welcome. Hello, Kurt. Welcome to the Sunday Comic Investment Chat. Um, Avengers Endgame, as we know, reaching toward 2.4 billions this weekend as far as total ticket sales. Um, can it catch Avatar? I don't know. Okay, it's hard to say because now that we are heading into the third week, I think most people that have seen it has seen it at least once, right? So going forward, can it drum up another 350 million from people going back and see it again and again and again? We'll see. Time will tell in about a month. Okay, a month from now, I think we will know if it has broke the record or not, or if it can't. Regardless, a huge achievement for the movie. Hello, Thomas Churchill. Um, But let's talk about investment because that's what the Sunday Comic Investment Talk is about, right? Um, when it comes down to investment, hello, John. One of the thing that apply to any investment, whether it's stocks or real estates or comic books or anything else, is anticipation. Hello, iconic point. Is that you know if you go out there and buy something based on what everyone else has already talked about, you're likely late to the game. It is about anticipating what is coming. It's about anticipating what's gonna be uh, heading higher. For those that are in stock trading, as I am, you know, it is there are multiple ways. There are multiple ways that stock trader like to trade. Some people like to buy high and sell higher, right? That's what a lot of momentum trader categorize is, you buy high, you sell higher. They like to ride the up valley. Uh, but for me, I prefer to be the dip buyer, the bargain hunter, um, and anticipating the turning point as far as trying to pick a stock. I tend to let a stock crash, find wait patiently for it to bottom out, and then pick the point, anticipate the turning point to buy something and then see it go much higher or return. So there is not really one way to invest. And that's the same thing with comic books. You can invest on big books for the long run, with long-term horizon. You can buy something big, pay a fair value at the point, and then wait patiently for it to go higher in 3 5. Or you can buy something ahead of the crowd, ahead of the herd, and anticipate the turning point, or anticipate that the book is going to get hard. Okay, that's is the big the big gains uh, is available for those that are early to any books and anticipating that that book is going to get hot. It's not about waiting for a YouTube channel to tell you now is a time to buy something. Does that mean that you're too late if you are waiting for someone else to tell you what to buy? No, but likely you have missed out on some gains if you are waiting for that point. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying is that, learn to anticipate, learn to be observant, learn to know what's going on with the market, and be ahead of the herd. Okay, because once the herd stampede, you already miss it. Exactly, Kirk. I mean, once I understand, I had talked about this a few times in my channel many times. Is that it's nothing. If you're a busy person working, I understand. Okay, I understand completely. That you don't have time to know what's going on with the market. You don't have time to knowing on what's hot, what's going on with the buzz, the hypes. A lot of people work hard. They have full-time jobs, working overtime, all kind of stuff, family, all kind of busy thing in life that make it very difficult to follow. But we all know there are a lot of people that spend a lot of time on YouTube watching a lot of videos, so they have free time. Okay, there's a lot of people with a lot of free time that they spend on YouTube, and it'd be wiser for them to spend that time hunting instead of watching many different videos that talk about the same thing. Okay, I can tell you, I like to listen to news on comics, on superheroes, on movies, but seriously, do I need more than subscribing to like John Campia or Collider? Do I really need to see the same news rehash by 10 different channels, talk about the same thing? I don't. Other people, I, I might be in the minority. Okay, there are people out there that just love to listen to the same discussion by 50 different people. Well, if that's the case, then good for you. I don't know what else to tell you. It's not about, you know how. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what to do with your time. I'm just saying that I don't do that. I find better use to do with my time. Uh, by the way, John, from now on, please, uh, if you are serious about buying that book, go through the process and pay for the book and be done. Okay, this is one reason why I don't like to sell to strangers, because it's a pain in the ass to have to negotiate. I don't like to do that. Okay, John, from G or whatever your name is, this is the first time we are dealing business, and I can tell you, don't do what you do ever again, because since it's your first time in dealing with me, you have an option to back out and say you are an a-hole and I don't want to do business with you, but you make a lot of faux pas in dealing with me this time, and I will highlight it in this chat since you're here so that you understand how I do business. Okay? I talk about how I do business very often on my channel. A, I don't like to haggle. B, when something is agree, it's agree. You don't get a chance to go to agree on something and then go down on prices. Okay, that is a big faux pas. You don't get a chance to say, how about 300 on that book? And then when I said, yes, I will work with, I can agree on 300, and then go back down, how about 290? That's one faux pas. Number two faux pas, you don't get to tell me how much I can make on my books. Okay? It's one of the most offensive things that you can say to anyone. You only paid this much for this book. You don't need to make that much profit. No, you don't get to do that. So if what I'm saying is offensive to you, let me know. I will sell the book to somebody else. But you committed two huge faux pas with me. Offensive. Okay, so don't do that again if you ever want to buy books from me, because I don't play that bullshit. It is bullshit. Um, it's I know that I'm not an easy person to deal with when it comes down to buying and selling, because in general I don't play the back and forth game. I don't like to, like, how about this, how about that, how about this, how about that. I usually let a person do one time and I counter with something, and if it's not good, it's not good. It's not it's not in my nature. Some people love that. Okay, I can tell you that. So I'm not saying that what you do is offensive to everybody. Okay, I'm just saying that how I do business, I don't play that game. Okay, I don't um, go back and forth 10 times, and I certainly don't approach anyone and tell that person, you only paid that much for that book, so why are you asking this price? That has nothing to do, what I pay for something has nothing to do with what is the fair value of that book. If you want to pay what I paid for the book, go do the work yourself. Go hunt the book yourself. Um, Back to anticipation point, one of the things that um, I try to tell people about hot books is that you have to understand the trend of the market. Um, it's not a surprise that Marvel and Disney is jumping on the Chinese bandwagon and come out with Shang-Chi, right? Because think about it. China market is exploding with the Marvel movies. If you go back and look at how Marvel movies did um, in the past 6 years, right? The average is like 100 million, 110 million. It's not like huge number, but the last 2 years, things really start to pick up. Okay, you see big number, huge number. I mean, if Marvel and Disney see how big that number is, I'm pretty sure they would never recast the Ancient One with Tilda Swinton. Okay, you gotta understand, back when Swinton was cast as the Ancient One for Doctor Strange, which is, you're talking 2000, late 2014, I believe. You know, China was still not a huge market. It's big, but it's nowhere as huge as it is now. Otherwise, they would have cast a Chinese, a famous Chinese actor for that role. Um, Now, as far as anticipating what the market is talking about, is it a surprise that there is buzz on Captain Britain? Do you know the top four movie market in the world is? North America, yes, North America is number one, not a surprise. Number two, China, okay? Go back into the history of action movies. I'm not talking about just Marvel movies, action movies like Mission Impossible or James Bond, or you name it. When it comes down to action movie, fantasy movie, you got North America, you got China. Guess what's the number three market is? The UK. Okay, the UK. For the UK population is nowhere as big as a lot of other country, but the UK love Marvel as well. Okay, not a surprise to many collectors. There's a lot of collectors from Canada and the UK, no doubt about that. But so is it a surprise that there are talk and buzz and hypes about Captain Britain or the Black Knight or whoever, whatever superhero is coming out of the UK? It should not be a surprise, right? Now, can you pick the fourth market in the world? This is a surprise to a lot of people. What is the fourth market as far as Marvel superhero movies? I give you a hint. There's a reason why Marvel put Korea in the Black Panther. Does that make any sense to have scenes that took place in Korea? Yes, the number four market of Marvel movies is Korea. Okay? South Korea to be exact. Okay? Because the people in North Korea don't get the electric light turned on at night. So sad. Oh my God. Let's not go there. Let's not go there in North Korea. Uh, but yes, as shocking as that data is true. You can go back and take a look at the Marvel movies. It is insanely popular in Korea. So anticipate the market. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what to buy, what to hype, what to speculate on, but it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities that Marvel will introduce a character from the universe that came from South Korea. Is it so out of the left field that out of the sudden a C-list, a B-lister from South Korea with some bizarre power is gonna pop into the MCU in 2 or 3 years? Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Okay, anticipate understanding the overall market. You don't have to wait for a YouTube channel to say this is going to be the book that's gonna be hot because Marvel just released a news that they casting, they including something from South Korea with a background from South Korea. So just do your homework. It's fun. Okay, to me it's I think about that kind of stuff. In all honesty, I think about it. I don't make videos to speculate on that and make it. There's a lot of channels that would speculate on all that stuff. It's not me. Okay, it's not me. I'm not doing that. That's why I'm not saying anything specific as far as what superheroes. If you Google Marvel superhero South Korea, you will see. Okay, and then you can go bonkers, you can go crazy, you can do whatever you wish to do. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend buying a short box of this stuff because it's gonna make you rich. I'm not saying that, so please, people, don't do that. But I'm saying, why not pick up a copy or two? You never know. It's cheap. It's $3, whatever it is. It's very cheap. There is no need to go buy it after the news is out. If you wait for the news to say so and so character with a background from South Korea is gonna be in the next Avengers movie, you already missed the boat. Why not buy the damn books right now for $3? Because you can sell it for $30 whenever that news come out in a year or two, right? So trust me. Learn to anticipate. try not to follow. Okay, and that's the best advice I can give uh, when it comes down to investment in anything. If you're anticipating that something is going to do well, then take actions instead of like waiting for somebody to tell you that this is the time to buy. Usually when someone says it's time to buy something, you already miss out a big chunk of the gains. Okay, that's just the nature of how people uh, will relay the information. Okay, people tend to keep something secret until they get enough for themselves before they unleash it to the world, right? It's common sense, isn't it? Isn't it common sense? But I'm guessing that it's not common sense for a lot of people because it seems like a lot of people wait until they hear the news from the channels that know everything. uh, Iconic Point said AF-15 will hit 1 million in 2119. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'd be long gone, decomposed by that point, right? Um, can Amazing Fantasy 15 hit 1 million? The answer is yes. The bigger question is when, and I don't think anybody can make any kind of prediction. Okay, we have seen Action One surpass, was it 3 million for the highest graded copy? Now, do I see Amazing Fantasy 15 be 3 million anywhere in the next century? I don't know. You know, I don't live long enough to make that kind of investment. So certainly, can the book worth more 10 years from now? The answer is yes. I have no idea if the book is going to worth how much more. I don't know. Hello, Scott. You're up early from California. For those that don't know, Scott in the chat room is the person that kind of responsible for me to be on YouTube. I made my very first video for Scott. Not that he was asking for it, but Scott and I have known each other for years on the CGC forum, and I figured that he would be a fan of seeing some of the beautiful books that I have in my collection up close in a video. So that was the the reason for me to shoot the very first video to load on YouTube to share my books with Scott. It has nothing to do with other people in the comic community. So, whenever I hear people say, "Oh, this is the person that inspired me to make video for YouTube," nobody. I did not know one soul. I did not watch one video from any comic channel up until that point. I was on YouTube for a few years before, but I was watching cooking, traveling, DIY stuff on cars. I watched some comic related videos, but it's more like documentary on like Stan Lee or Steve Ditko or Neil Adams or things like that. So I did watch some comic related videos in my early days prior to making videos myself, but the comic community was something completely unknown to me. Completely unknown. I don't know why. I did not look. Um, it was bizarre. It's kind of weird because I was back in the hobby in 2008. I was very active on the CGC forum from 2008, late 2008, all the way to 2011, 2012. And I never even thought about YouTube. Not sure why. Not sure why that kind of went over my head. And only when I make that first video for Scott that thing mushroomed from there. Dr. Van Schiller asks, I thought the highest graded Amazing Fantasy 15 hit 1 million a couple years ago. And Scott, the historian, say yes, 1.1 million. So there you go. That's your answer, John from G. John from now on G. It has hit 1 million, but it need to be a 9.6 compared to, I think, an 8.0 Action 1 would probably get to that value. Did Church have an AF-15? I don't think so, Airman. I don't think Church have Amazing Fantasy 15, but Scott might know. Scott in the chat room might be able to answer that question more. I don't think Church have Silver Age. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't recall seeing any Silver Age My Higher. I'm getting old and memory is slipping badly, so I just don't recall ever seeing a Silver Age key that has the Church pedigree on it. But I'm sure somebody in the chat room will correct me if I am incorrect. So back to investment and anticipation. No doubt, anticipating what the market is going to do is going to be key. I think my best anticipation of the market in hindsight is probably buying a bunch of not as much as I wanted to, but I did bought and hoard as many Amazing Fantasy 15 as I could, because I felt that that book is gonna keep going higher and much higher. So that I was right. What I failed to do was outbid a bunch of other people, because I'm not alone. I'm not alone in hoarding Amazing Fantasy 15 back in 2009, 2010, 2011. I was not alone. In fact, I remember telling Scott that was my strategy back in 2010. Was it 2010, Scott? Let me know. I can't remember, but around 2010, 2011, I think I let him in my secret strategy that I was hoarding Amazing Fantasy 15, because I think the future for that book is going to be a lot brighter than other books. Scott, remember, he said yes, 2010. So yes, and I'm not alone. If I was alone, I wouldn't be. If I was alone, I probably would have got a lot more books, a lot more copies than I did, because trust me, I bid on just about every copy, 3.0 to 2.0. You know, that was a sweet spot for me. I was not going to go higher. Anything that was 2.0, 2.5, 3.0, I was bidding. Okay, I was bidding on every single one of those books that I see, whether it's on Heritage, Sunday Auction, or Comic Link, or eBay, or you know, I see it, I bid. And I bid up to the fair value. At the time, I did not try to get anything cheap. So the people that beat me to those books at the time paid fair value, if not slightly above fair value, because when it comes down to Amazing Fantasy 15, it's hard to get a deal. It seemed like high price back in 2010 to be paying, you know, 4,000 or 5,000 for 2.0 or 2.5. It seemed crazy, right? Yeah. Well, it paid off. Iconic, he used GPA, but it won't show prices sold via the forum or Instagram or at cons. Correct. For those that are not familiar with GPA, GPA is very useful, but in the same sentence, I would say that it is very flawed. Okay, because it includes eBay, it includes Heritage, and I have shown proof that it includes some, but not all, Comic Connect. Here's what's bizarre. One place that it should collect data from, and I'm not sure why it doesn't, is my comic shop. My comic shop sell a lot of slabs on their website. If my comic shop sold a slab on eBay, it is recorded. But if it's sold outside of eBay, it's not recorded. So, and then there's tons and tons of books sold at conventions, tons and tons of books sold privately on Instagram, on Facebook, between private collector, on Bob Storm, High Grade Comics website, you name it. It's on the CGC forum daily. Hundreds of books are exchanging hands, and nothing are recorded by GPA. Okay, so there's a lot of missing data. Sure enough, a lot of people base their prices on GPA when they sell. So it's not like the books are sold way higher or way lower. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it does not capture as much data as people think it does. The MCU has boosted a lot of Marvel books. When do you think DC will follow? Oh, Marcus. Tough question. Good question, but impossible to answer because I think for a while, people was pretty jazzed about DC Keys because of the success of the TV shows, right? But those books also died pretty quickly. It did not help that the MCU is if the DCU is a complete mess. Okay, it does not help. When will DC book catch up? When I would say when you see successful DCU storyline that spread over multiple movies and multiple characters. Okay, having one Wonder Woman is nice. Having one Aquaman is nice. What else do you have to show for, right? One is not enough. Two is not enough. Even three is not enough. They need to to spin a stories together that show a long-term success, something that can build for a decade like the Marvel universe did. They need to show a path that they know what they're doing, that they have some kind of grand plan in mind, and that's what they failed to do. DC has failed to convince anyone other than the hardcore DC fanboy that think everything is great and we're all crazy for not liking those movies. There are DC fans out there that will say that all those movies are awesome and we are wrong to criticize Batman versus Superman or whatever. We're wrong. But until they can convince the mass that they have a grand plan that will work and they have a coherent storylines and a coherent message, I think DC key book is going to be lagging Marvel books for years to come until they can show that. Not to say that they bad investment. Showcase 4 does not rely on the success of the Flash movies. There is no Flash movie, right? So, it's nothing. Showcase 4 is a good investment, a solid investment, a book that I would love to add to my collection, but it's not easy to find. They're not going to go for bargains. People that have Showcase 4 is not going to give it away for cheap. My biggest problem in Showcase 4 is not that I can't afford a book, I'm sure that just get a lot of hates right there by just saying that. The problem is a lot of the low grade books, low grade copies that I would want to add to my collection. I don't need a 4.0 showcase 4. I'm perfectly happy with a 2.0, 2.5. Okay, perfectly happy with that. Even 1.5. The problem is a lot of showcase 4 to me is not good looking. Faded orange is a big problem for me. I want dark, deep, rich color. Okay, I don't care if it's low grade. I don't care if there's a lot of creases. I don't care if the spine is split. I want a deep, rich orange copy. And that has been the bane of my search for a showcase 4 is that every 2.5, 3.0 copy I see are just faded, not dark, deep, rich orange, not something I price as far as eye appeal to me. So I pass over every copy that come through my screen for the past many years. Sure, in hindsight, if I bought some a copy 4 years ago, I probably would have made profit if I did and ignore the ugliness of it, right? But sorry, I can't do it with my eye appeal. It jarring to see a faded copy. Yes, Kurt agree as far as DC books is gonna continue to suffer as long as they don't get the story together. Hello, Dan. I think I'm gonna pronounce your last name incorrectly, but Shin, Dan Shin. When would it make sense to pick up keys, affordable one, before they get things together? The question is which affordable books? Marcus, that's his question. When it come down to DC keys, the lucky thing compared to Marvel keys is as far as Silver Age keys, DC is not a heck of a lot. Okay, it's not a heck of a lot. So it's not like Marvel where there's like 80, 100 characters that was introduced in the 60s through the 70s. DC didn't have that. DC did not have an explosion of ideas. Not DC was not the house of ideas. So it's not like you have a lot of keys to fight over. And even some of the books that are considered keys for DC are not really keys. They're like, well, look at my Showcase 4. It's not like the first time Flash is introduced. It's the reintroduction of Flash. It's just like, you look at the Batman or detective books, you have the reintroduction of the Penguin, Two-Face, many of the villain. They reintroduce those characters and they become keys, even though they're not really keys. So, when it comes down to true keys of DC, if you look at, like, say, Batman, right? Poison Ivy, that's one of the very few true keys, right? Because she was not introduced in the Golden Age and then reintroduced, correct? Davis Comics Fine is here. He agree. Eye appeal is very important, more important than grade a lot of times. Absolutely. It's easy to. There are high grade books like 9.2, 9.4, 9.6 that are ugly because they have miswrap or they have slightly faded color. There's a lot of high grade books that does not look good. By faded 9.2, I mean, like, sometimes it's not because it's faded. Sometimes, at the end of the print run, the color is not as deep. That is the kind of color, discoloration I'm talking about. I'm not talking like a 9.4 that is faded. Wrong term to use. I'm talking about 9.4 where the color is not deep and rich, okay? So when it comes to it. It's for me, especially now more than ever. I am a low to mid grade collectors. I am more than ever focused on eye appeal because if I'm gonna buy a 3.0, I prefer the 3.0 not to look like garbage, right? Because there's a lot of ugly looking 3.0 out there. So for those that have sharp eyes, you can buy a lot of nice, affordable, low grade books compared to paying up for something that look not so nice. It's for some people the number mean more than eye appeal. Okay, I'm not delusional to think that you know the numerical number is not important. I am not delusional to think that. Okay, I know for some people that's what it is all about. That's why slapping is popular. That's why people like that bold number on the top left of the slab. Even if that bold number say 4.0, it is a 4.0. But for me, it's more about eye appeal and what look good for the grades. That hey, if you're paying the same price, if people are charging the same price for a 4.0 and one is ugly and one look nice for its grade, why would you not buy the one that look nice for its grade, right? Why not? Does that make any sense? So even for the people that are focused and fixated on the numbers on the top left of a slab, I don't get those that ignore the eye appeal whatsoever. It's just like, yes, the number is what you're paying for, but you're also paying for how it look, right? So the technical grade is one thing, the eye appeal is the other thing. I need both. I need both to work in sync for me to open my wallet. And yes, I have made a lot of mistakes in passing over books that are worth a lot more today because they didn't have the eye appeal. I am not saying that my way is the right way. Let me be very clear. I'm just saying I just can't fight. I have a hard time fighting my eyes. Okay, my eyes does a lot of thinking for me. If that make any sense. Well, I just look at the clock. It's about 10:13. Happy Mother's Day again. For those, I hope you all have plans with the wife or mom or the special lady in your life. Today is her day. We are taking mom to brunch. I have brunch planned for 11:45 at our favorite restaurant. Our favorite restaurant does not open on Sunday, not for brunch, but only twice a year they do this. On Easter Sunday, they do that, and on Mother's Day. That's the only 2 days that they open early on Sunday for brunch. Otherwise, on Sunday, they just open for dinner. We went there for Easter Sunday. We enjoyed the brunch there. So we are making a return for Mother's Day. Yes. Davis Comic Find saw a 2.0 Spider-Man 1 for 4K. But the color was faded, so it's not a copy for him. There you go. It's like, I'm sure for other people, they don't mind. Okay, that's the thing. This hobby has a wide range of tastes. Whenever I talk about my taste, I'm always try to reiterate that it is just my taste. I'm not saying that other people taste is wrong. Hey, it's your money. You do whatever you wish, right? I can't I can't say that enough that it's like if people get offended listening to what I'm saying as if like I'm trying to preach to people this is the right way to collect. Please understand that is not the intention. Okay, it's never the intention of me to tell anyone how to collect. The only intention I have in making all these videos is to show people how I collect. Does that make sense? The crazy eyes tell you that that's the intent. Yes. I have a lot of videos to load before I go. Let me know what you want to see next. I have all kinds. I have pressing videos that I shot, a couple that I can load. I'm just gonna load one. Okay, I'm not gonna. There's already a chat, this chat today, so there's no need to load more than another video. But I have one. I have more eye candies. I have more rule of acquisition. I have a few more CGC versus CBCS. I have a few more cameo versus first appearances. Basically, all the topics that you see, I have at least 2 to 5 different episodes to load. Okay, trust me. I make a lot of videos. I have a lot backed up in the inventory. I probably have 20 to 25 videos that I have not made public yet. So take your pick what it is that you want to see that I load today. Since it's Mother's Day, I can be generous and let you decide what you want to see next, and I will load a video after I finish here. There's one request for CGC versus CBCS. Okay, we'll see if other people agree. Some people find that boring. I mean, I make videos that I like to watch. At the end of the day, that's the honest truth. Okay, I like to make videos that I like to watch. Heck, if somebody else out there make price comparison videos like CGC versus CBCS or PGX versus C, and I don't have to do it, trust me, I will stop making the videos and watch their videos. All right? I make videos that I want to watch because I don't see it on YouTube. So it's not that, I make videos that other people want to watch. I mean, if other people enjoy the videos that I make, awesome. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I don't appreciate the views and the comments and all that stuff. But usually the videos that I make is something that I want to watch. It's not, I don't do it to please other people. I mean, I get a ton of requests over the years from people that want to see this and see that. And a lot of time I don't make those videos because people can request them, but it's not something that interests me, so why would I make the videos, right? So Ammon said, I missed your comic link auction reviews. I stopped doing those when I took a hiatus, and DS Comics, if you're not subscribed to DS Comics, he has taken over that. And he does a wonderful job. I watched some of that. Okay, I watched some of his recap every month when there is an auction at the Comic Link. The reason why I stopped doing that, because I don't buy a lot from Comic Link. I don't bid a lot on Comic Link anymore because I don't buy a lot of slabs anymore. So for me, it's not something that I don't pay attention to, not a heck of a lot anymore. So that's a big reason why I kind of stopped doing the recaps on Heritage or Comic Link or Comic Connect, because I literally do not follow them. Because after a while, I'm just like, I'm not buying this stuff. I don't have the interest in follow what's going on with these books. I kind of know, right? I follow enough to know how the market is. So I just don't want to follow every single listing kind of thing like I used to. But that's the reason why I stopped doing the recap. But if you want to watch the recaps, go subscribe to DS Comics. Comic Book Brother say, bring back Got to Have. I as I mentioned, Got to Have was a lot of fun to do. I did that for over a year. I did like 100 episodes. 100 episodes. Okay, so trust me, it's like 2 years. 2 years of Got to Have weekly. And it get to be tedious at the end. The last 6 months of Got to Have was no longer fun for me to do because it is literally the same book. I mean, I do. At first, I was able to see a lot of different things, right? But after a while, it's like it's the same type of books that popped up every week. And how many times can I talk about Hook 181? It become repetitive. It's because that's what the market wants, right? The market is like keys focus. The market caca Google over keys. So all the big money every week is going toward all the keys, and it seems like every week it's the same books: FF1, X-Men 1, Amazing Fantasy 15, Hook 181. That's like the dominant theme every week. And some people's like, oh, why don't you include this book or that book? Well, the series is got to have. It's like what people are willing to pay up to buy the big books. And unfortunately, the big books are just the same books every week. And so, yeah, that's the reason why I kind of kill it. And would I revive Got to Have down the road? Yes. If I see a change in the market, okay, if I see where the market is like changing, just like CGC versus CBCS, okay, I have 2 or 3 more episodes. I shot the videos, I just need to edit the videos. There are 2 or 3 more episodes, and then I'm going to end the series for this season. Because basically, if you follow CGC versus CBCS from the beginning, it took place, the first comparison was like late September or September of 2018, all the way through April of 2019. So basically, for 6 months, I compared the prices, and we all see how they are, right? For the most part, the trend is very clear on what's going on with CGC versus CBCS. Very clear. Okay, there's no. You might see there's a video down the road that I can load today, because that's the request is that will show you an anomaly. Okay, but don't take that video. It's like, oh my God, the market is changing. CBCS is finally caught up. Trust me, I shot that video, and then the next 3 weeks, the trend is still the same, the 20 to 30% difference. So don't get all, I'm sure, I guarantee you, when I load that video today, per people's request, there's gonna be CBCS fanboys that's gonna be proclaiming victory. It's here. The day is here. We finally caught up and surpassed CGC. Wrong. Oh, you're gonna be so wrong the next video and the next video and the next video, because like I said, it's like 3 or so more videos I need to edit. And there are one video where it seemed like the trend has changed. So yeah, but my plan is to not make any more CGC versus CBCS video after I finish editing all the one that I shot already, and then let the market be what the market is gonna be, and then maybe sometime in a year, like early next year, 2020, restart the series and see how the market has changed, if at all, right? At the end of the day, that's what we like to see. We want to know. We want to know if the market has changed for those books, for the 2 companies. So if I stop doing the videos and let it sit for 6 or 8 months and restart it, and it's still the same 20 or 30% difference, woo, a lot of explaining to do, CBCS fanboys, because if the market is not changing a year from now, when will it change? If ever, right? if ever. So I don't know. I'm not rooting for either company. I don't care. I have said this many times on my channel. I care about more money. And every time I see anyone saying, "Oh, it is so clear to buy CBCS because it's cheaper," that's one side of the argument. What about the people that are giving away? If you are using CBCS and knowingly and willingly selling it 20 or 30% below CGC, what is your reason? Is your hatred for CGC that much that you're willing to take 20 or 30% less? Inquiring mind like to know, because like it or not, I don't fault CBCS buyers. Okay, whenever someone come to my channel and watch those videos and say it's so clear, I'm going with CBCS, nothing wrong with that. My question is, who are slabbing those books, and why are they selling it at 20 or 30% lower? Is this a charity? What's the reason? Besides, I hate CGC, because please don't tell me about faster turnaround time or better prices, all that stuff. And please do not tell me that a slab is better or clearer. That's extremely subjective, okay? If you want to compare a CGC slab that was, the first generation or the second generation that is kind of not very clear, yes, you can compare and say, yes, CBCS is clearer. But, oh, come on, okay? As far as today, the new CGC case, how can anyone say CBCS case is clearer? Based on what? Based on what facts? It's just nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Every time I hear anyone want to argue with me about, why CBCS this and that, I'm just like, you haven't said anything that make any sense to me as far as, why anyone is using CBCS besides they hate CGC. If that's the reason, that's fine. There's people that will say, CGC damaged my books and this and that. That's why I will never give them business. Breaking news, CBCS will do the same thing. The potential of damaging books in their possession is no less or more than at CGC. Okay, so if you see somebody saying CBCS damaged my books because they mishandle it, what you gonna do? Switch to PGX next, because now that CGC damaged your books and now CBCS can also damage your books? Like I said, people take this so personal. They harm me, so they must be a bad company. Crazy talk. Anyhow, I just saw the time is 10:28. Enough yip yap for the day. Once again, enjoy Mother's Day. Celebrate Mother's Day. Take the ladies out for a special meal. Be nice. I bought my wife a fairly fancy card that she loved. Actually, my son picked it out, and I bought it, but he picked it out, and he wrote something nice for her and made her morning. Anyhow, happy Mother's Day. Enjoy your Sunday. Based on what I'm seeing on the screen here, I don't see any request for anything else, so I will load the CGC versus CBCS video that I have already loaded. I can't wait to see the comments, because I can tell you there's going to be people saying CBCS has caught up. A teaser. If you want to know what happened in that video, I'm going to load in the next few minutes. Anyhow, adios, folks. It's time for me to go. It's exactly 10:30 my time. 1 hour is up. Bye-bye.